You've created a design and are proud of it. You send it to the client. What does the client's acceptance depend on? The quality of the design? Fair enough. But imagine two parallel universes. In one, the client had an argument with their spouse, missed the bus, spilled coffee on themselves, and didn't get time for lunch. In the other, they had a great day. Of course, we'd all prefer to find ourselves in the second universe, where the client is in a good mood, because we instinctively know that in this case, the chances of them approving the design are significantly higher. Let's continue the multiverse trend and split this universe into two. In one, the client hasn't thought about your design for a few days, being preoccupied with other things. In the other, just 10 minutes before your call, they happen to reread the brief they sent you for the design. It's no longer as straightforward, right? But research shows that in the second case, the likelihood of design approval is much higher. There are standard, very important ways to manage expectations. We'll talk about them later, but today I want to share how we accidentally hacked the system and started presenting designs with a soundtrack. This not only greatly increased the chances of approval, but each presentation now leaves clients thrilled, boosting loyalty. If the client is active on social media, they often share this experience, talking about us as a design studio that knows how to surprise. So how does this work? Research shows that positive emotions arise when expectations are met or exceeded. If the outcome is below expectations or doesn't match them at all, the emotion will be negative. Therefore, our task is not just to do a good job, but to understand the client's frame of reference and figure out what good means to them right now. Presenting a design is a separate and extremely important area of study for designers. Of course, being a good designer is a given, but the ability to manage expectations and evoke the right emotions is the next most important skill. And this is what we hack using AI soundtracks. Let me clarify that this doesn't work everywhere, mainly in presentations of visual concepts where there's a key visual. This could be identity, branding, or an event concept, even if the event already has its own branding. Presenting a key visual with a soundtrack significantly increases the chances of approval and boosts client loyalty. We've done this several times now, and each time we've received rave reviews. Moreover, clients share this presentation on social media and blogs, talking about how we surprise them and how great it is to work with us. What do we do specifically? In the past, instead of just giving a presentation in Figma, we often added a video. This allowed the client to immediately see all the animations and elements in the correct resolution, because Figma loads videos slowly and doesn't have any loading indicator. So the client might miss some animations entirely. Plus, the colors are right, in 4K and with the correct color profile. Now we add an AI soundtrack to this, with the text written by Anthropic Claude Sonnet 3.5. We ran many experiments and found that for lyrical text, Sonnet works much better than ChatGPT. It's important to ask it to write song lyrics specifically, not just a poem. And it's important to talk not only about the design, but about the company as a whole. Usually, I first upload all the designs as screenshots to ChatGPT, briefly describing what we wanted to convey with the design and ask it to deepen the meaning, add metaphors, philosophical depth, and include some cultural or creative insights. ChatGPT handles this better, in my opinion, than Anthropic Claude. Then I take what ChatGPT generates, go to Anthropic Claude and ask for song lyrics with a catchy chorus, just 2 verses. It should be a short song, of course, not a full one, and the chorus should be very complimentary towards the company, ideally mentioning the company name. I also send it the instructions for prompting in Suno, where we generate the soundtrack. And I ask it to write several different prompts for the style. It's important not to rely too much on personal musical preferences, but to aim for something more universal, since everyone has different musical tastes. It would be a shame to lose the whole effect just because we chose a more experimental niche style that the client doesn't like at all. In the example I'm showing, there are no animations, but now when we have some abstractions, we also animate them using Runway Gen 3 to add dynamics. But this step is optional. Nonetheless, it doesn't take much time or money, and it gives an additional effect. However, it only generates 720p, so it's not suitable for main animations, which still need to be done manually or not at all at this stage. But for background texture movements, it works quite well. It's long been known that stakeholders in companies often associate themselves with the company. When a soundtrack highlights the company's strengths and even praises it creatively, it hits right in the heart. This approach makes it feel like not just the company, but the person themselves is being praised, and that always leaves a positive impression. It's especially rewarding because we're not just designing, but also bringing joy to clients. Everyone wins, the client is happy, our work gains additional value, and we demonstrate ourselves as creative and interesting designers. There's an important aspect to keep in mind. Under no circumstances should you send this video file via email or a work chat. The video format does not eliminate the need for managing expectations. We still need to prepare the client. We still need to remind them why we made the decisions we did in the concept. So this only works if basic design presentation rules are followed, along with basic expectation management rules. We have a separate video about this. Yes, it's an old one with a different host, don't be alarmed. But nevertheless, it clearly and concisely explains how to present designs and send them. So with this information about AI design, and by applying the basic rules, which generally help achieve a high approval conversion rate, you will likely see a significant increase in client loyalty, and perhaps even get new clients through word of mouth immediately.